In this video, we're going over 5 agents to dominate in main in patch 7.03. With the meta finally stabilized, we know exactly what agents are the best to pick if you want to climb as easy as possible. So we're going to break it all down, but the SkillCapped website is the #1 place to improve at a very, very fast rate. We've rated agent guides over every single one of these agents, tips and tricks, and everything that you could possibly need to improve yourself at a dramatic rate. What are you waiting for? Check it out right now in the links down below. Now, before we jump in, I do want to give some honorable mentions of characters that I think are very strong, but there's a couple of caveats to them. #1 being Astra, a super strong character, but you typically have to play her in a dual controller setup or else she's not going to be very viable, and it's better if you have some amount of cohesion and synergy. So Astra's going to be better in higher ranks, Astra's going to be better if you're duoing or potentially stacking, and Astra is going to be better in that dual controller setup. And in fact, I wouldn't even play her otherwise. So if those things line up, then Astra is a slam dunk pick and definitely someone that I would suggest. But outside of that, it's going to be a bit of a flex character where you only play her in those moments and you don't just lock her all the time. You're not like an Astra one trick. Then the next character in the honorable mentions is there for similar reasons, and that's Breach. Breach is best when you have someone that can utilize your utility. He's pretty map specific. There are maps he wants to play on like Fracture and Haven, but more important than that, you need someone that is willing to utilize your utility in order to go in. So if you're just playing this randomly in solo queue and everyone's way too passive, you're making space for them and they're not taking that space, then it's just not going to work very well on Breach. So having a consistent duo partner that plays a duelist that engages really aggressively, I think that's going to be like the golden recipe to make Breach a slam dunk. Otherwise, he's probably more map dependent, if anything. Last up in the honorable mention category, we have Sova. Still a fantastic character for ranked and definitely the #6 on our list, just outside of the top 5. But there are characters in the initiator role right now that are a bit more competitive, and even though Sova is dropping down, I still want to make it clear he's a fantastic pick and really, really powerful, but he doesn't quite make it into our top 5. Anyways, let's move on to the 5th place, #5 on our list, and that's Raze. Now, Raze is one of the most picked characters right now in coordinated play, but for ranked, she's even freaking stronger. This character just gives you everything you could possibly need to have large impact in any game that you're playing her in. Not only is your mobility amazing for dodging cooldowns, mistiming the enemy team, and just simply outplaying people in gunfights, but the inherent value factor, which is just your baseline value that you get out of your abilities on Raze, is really high. Grenade is really, really strong. Same thing with Boombot that gives you vital information and can overwhelm the enemy team, and your ultimate is fairly reliable unless your name is Sub Rosa. But really, Raze fights on a different axis than everything else. She really can overwhelm an enemy in a way that other characters just can't. The flexibility and the creativity you have, how you take every single engagement or 1v1 is unparalleled, and Raze brings a ton of value even if you're not an amazing aimer. I do think that this character is phenomenal, really, really strong, and one of the best characters to main and grind for the foreseeable future. Now, #4 on our list, I'm cheating here, okay? I'm once again cheating. And we're putting 2, Viper and Omen. And the thing is, if you're maining one of these characters, you should probably be maining both of them because they're map dependent, right? Omen has maps where he is super, super strong on, and Viper has maps where she's needed on, right? Because of the line smoker aspect of the character. But if you play both these characters, then your agent pool is perfect, and you can always be that controller regardless of the maps that you're on. Now, I will say one of the best things about both these characters is the power of lurking, which lurking is just overpowered. The lower in rank you go, the better and better lurking becomes, because players are undisciplined. And the thing about lurking is oftentimes when you're helping your team from, let's say, a middle angle on offense, right? Let's say ascent mid. Regardless of what happens, when the enemies try to rotate, they either go very, very slow and disciplined, right? So they're not going to help their teams in a rush very quickly. So they're going super, super slow. They're clearing every corner. And in that case, you can slow down, you can play it slow, and you get value just by being able to potentially go on a flank, go back with your team, or just the fact that the enemy team are rotating so slow puts your team at a huge advantage, or they rotate fast and undisciplined because they're trying to go help their team, which happens really, really often, by the way. And you're going to be able to just cut them off, get kills, and then maybe the next round you don't even lurk, but now they're always worried about you. They're always waiting. They're always rotating slow now. And you can have and play these mind games with people, and it just brings you value. Free wins, free rounds. It's insane. Lurking is one of the most overpowered things to do if you really want to climb very quickly. Yes, you're still doing your job. Yes, you're still still smoking for your team. And I'm not telling you to just like perma flank all the time and not do your job, but I am saying that there is legitimate information and picks that you can get for free because you are lurking, and it's something that I would highly suggest doing on these characters and learning how to do on these characters. Then the next agent that we got to talk about is definitely Skye, because Skye is one of the best, if not the best initiator right now by far. She's incredibly strong. She's played on almost every single map, and it really just comes down to her kit, right? Not only do you have a flash that can be used for an aggressive play in a pinch, but can also gather information, can also enable your team to take space, which is really strong, like Skye flash with anything, like a Jett dash or a Raze going in, or just your W King Reyna, whoever it is, Skye flash can help make that play actually go right when it would have gone wrong without you. In addition to that, you can clear out a lot of space, whether it's attack or defense, trying to take that aggressive space with dog and having someone utilize the information to go push up. Really, really great on Skye. You give yourself a huge advantage on pistol rounds because of your heal. And the great thing about Skye is that even though synergizing with your team is good, of course, one, you can use your abilities and you don't even have to set things up perfectly because you can kind of beat them to the punch and just like force that cohesion. Like you're not doing it like some other characters that need perfect timing. You don't have to have perfect timing on Skye, and you still get a ton of value with your abilities even solo. Just gathering information with the Skye flash, or maybe even trying to just duel someone with the Skye flash. There's a lot of things about this character that's really, really great for ranked. She just gets a ton of value automatically, has plenty room for you to get even more value as things become more disciplined and more coordinated as you climb the ranks, and is just one of the most meta strongest characters in the game right now. So I would definitely suggest her. Now next up, I do want to talk about Jett. Number 2, Jett is just a slam dunk right now. Really, we're in a Jett meta, and Jett is king or queen, or I guess whatever, it doesn't matter. Regardless, Jett is super freaking strong. The fact that you can take space and engage in a way that is super, super direct, it's really, really strong, because when we think about the initiators right now, all of them are powerful. Sova, Breach, even Fade is good, and Skye, all of these are good, and these all set up people. But who are they setting up? And it's really only Jett and Raze are the main people that you want to set up. But Jett gets to kind of take it to the next level, gets to smoke in herself, gets to dash into it. So like a combination of smoking a place, dashing into it, getting a Skye's flash popped, and then popping out of your own smoke. It's just freaking really strong. It's super, super strong. It's really hard to deny. It's hard to play around, and it's objectively powerful. And being proactive and ranked is really good, because trying to always be reactive is hard, because you have to predict things. You have to know how to deal with things. You have to think on the fly. But Jett is a character that when you do that, you're putting pressure aggressively. You're the one applying the pressure, and it's the opponent's job to respond properly. And that's a lot harder to do. And in addition to that, even if we kind of break down all of the strategy and teamwork and cohesion with Jett, just the fact that you can op really well, just the fact that you can take duels and potentially get another shot to take another duel without getting traded, all of that is just fantastic for the character. In addition to the whole other aspect of the character, which is her knives, which is amazing on eco, helps your team in save rounds. You can clutch up save rounds with your team. You can help buy your team and still kind of rock in with full fighting force. There's just so much about Jett that's so damn good. Really an amazing character. Yes, she's hard to learn. Yes, she's hard to play, but I do think that if you master her, then the sky's the limit for what you can accomplish. Now, the last character we got to talk about, the number 1 character, if you want to just get wins, if you want to win the game, if you want to pop off, there's a character that gives your team the highest chance of winning being on most maps in general, and it's Killjoy. Killjoy brings a crazy amount of value, and I feel like a broken record with how much I'm telling people to play Killjoy, because she's just that strong right now. You get to cheat on defense, you get to cheat on sights, you get to 1 stack like 1 point, and then 1 person mid, and then 3 stack the other point. A lot of people will avoid Killjoy, or they'll push into you, and you'll get a crazy amount of value. 2 kills, 3 kills when they're pushing into you. Your turret is fantastic, and this character is just so freaking damn good. Now, I understand there are some frustrations playing this character in ranked, when if you're constantly being put in a retake situation when your team had the advantage, and you're put in these retake situations that just shouldn't happen nearly that much, you can get frustrated. I understand that, but you got to understand that throughout the course of, like, let's say 10 plus games, the amount of value you're bringing on this character is so much that you're just gonna win a giant percentage of them. This character is really, really strong. You just have to be patient. You have to be disciplined. Stuff that isn't the most fun. Like, your games might not be crazy action-packed. Sometimes you're gonna be sitting on a site alone while the enemy team constantly pushes the other site, and you're not gonna get to do that much, but you're winning. You're winning game after game. And this is a character that isn't gonna be for everybody. Maybe not everyone's gonna like to play this character, but I promise you, if you made this character character and get good at this character, you will win a freaking lot, especially in this meta. So it's up to you how much you want to win versus how much you want to play your own game. I leave that choice up to you. But definitely check out skillcapped.com for radiant guides over all of these characters, whether you want to master their utility, whether you want to learn the position you take and the rotations you take every single map. We got a guide for you on the SkillCapped website. So what are you waiting for? Check it out right now in the links down below.